LA, they're undefeated, and I'm so ready for this matchup.
I think what we want to watch here for is a real statement win by LA. Assuming they pull out this victory, I think it'll really shake up how the league looks at them as a team.
This is so true. And LA, so ready to absolutely curb stomp Calgary. Will Calgary have a response? We're about to find out after this ban phase. And, you know, we have a nice little Chalet game. I love Chalet. And apparently these players do too, as we've gotten Chalet way too many games to count. As if you look back at last week's play day, Chalet was Atlanta versus Miami, one of the classics of all time. I know our glorious, glorious commissioner, Vac, and our other glorious admin, Thermit, casted that game. It was a fun one. So go watch the VOD of that if you haven't already. But Stamps, anything you could tell me about these two teams?
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a little concerned on just how bold LA is being. I know they're the favored team in this matchup, but taking Calgary to Chalet, one of their most played maps, is a bold take. And you can tell they are going for the jugular on this one. They are not holding back.
You know, I wholeheartedly agree. And something that's a little concerning, something that I want to point out, is the Warden ban. Listen, I get it. Warden has the 1.5. He has a very good gun that you can slap the 1.5 onto, but banning him is just kind of like a skill issue kind of thing. I mean, it's just kind of telling the other team that you don't have great gun skill. And, you know, I disagree with that ban. Also, banning Yana on attack is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like the Nomad and Mira bans, especially on this map. I think they're very good. Kind of questioning the Mira ban a little bit, but overall, some good bans. And as this preparation phase commences, any operators really sticking out to you?
Well, I do want to go back to what you were saying about the same team that banned Warden did ban Iana as well. So we almost got to think here, perhaps maybe they're just going for a very strategy-heavy map that they're hoping to unveil, and that's how they're hoping to claim this victory.
Now, kind of confused why the heavy underdogs are banning two fragging operators, but, you know, I kind of understand it at the same time. They don't want to die to those 1.5s, and, you know, in terms of just pure gun skill, I think LA has Calgary beat in any facet of the imagination. But as we get this round commenced, you know, I'll say it time and time again, I love the Azami play on this map. She's just so good, and I think she should be banned every single time, but neither team is gonna ban her, and that just makes it so sad because she has so many angles that she can exploit. I think in this matchup, it's just gonna be Jimmer taking on D. Wilson, two of the best players on each of their respective teams. We'll see how they match up in this series, Snaps.
Williams here getting a little active on the back. Wish we got to see a little bit more of that. Looked like he was getting aggressive early, but we got a C4 here. Not going to quite land on anything. Wilson, interesting to see that Kaid tricking really didn't go too well for him. I'm not sure if that's quite what he was going for. Regardless, what's done is done.
You know, what is done, and Lil Sai is about to be done for this round if he isn't careful. Peeking out with Castle's 1.5 is definitely interesting, but we'll see if that Champ Charm can't go to use here as they have blown open the wall, and they are now pushing from the back. Calgary making quick work of this LA defenses. They have blown open two walls now. It's just Thermite City over here, Sam.
Well, you got to keep in mind, Gallium, they're not just blowing up the back wall. They still got that sledge on main wall, and they got an Ash up above. They're doing a very good job spreading out their attack here, not really giving the defenders much of a chance to pinpoint one direction that they can all start looking. He's keeping them looking in every direction and spread out thin.
They are spread out thin, and we're going to have a Thermite trying to take out some gunfight, but it is controlled by Cayman Hockey, who's a very good player for this Calgary team. He's going to peek out a little bit. LA's holding this very well, but you would expect that from some good players. And Jimmer going to get the first kill, a surprising pick. Jimmer going to get that one, but Toe Sharp gets one right back. Two excellent players getting two excellent picks. Wow, what an amazing way to start this one.
Keep in mind, two defenders now down, one finished out, but Sai is also down on the ground. We got a 4v2 essentially here, and the attacker's got full control of Sai.
This is silly. This is some silly gameplay as Triax is just gonna get 2 kills waiting at the end of the hallway, and you know, Sams, if that isn't the ugliest ace skin I've ever seen in my life.
I'm gonna tell you that it looks a lot less goofy than most of his other skins, so I can't hate the man for running. It's part of the battle pass. Ubisoft wants you to buy it.
Well, you know, I heavily disagree with that take, but yet again, it is one of your takes. I will say, I did really like how Calgary played. I mean, if you're the underdogs, you kind of have to go in as more of a strategic team rather than just run and gun. Like, you cannot be Atlanta. You have to be more Miami, you know? And I feel like Calgary just kind of had both there in that round. I mean, LA, just such a dominant team. I mean, you've seen it all season. They actually 7-0'd Miami. They've 7-0'd Atlanta. I mean, they are just an incredible team, and to be just winning that round is ridiculous.
You almost have to wonder if maybe the biggest mistake that round was overconfidence. I don't know if you caught it at the end there, Gallium, but we saw the last defender alive actually ignoring, I think it was about 15 bullets whizzing by him just because he knew he was too good to die to that guy. So I'm wondering if maybe they're just too overconfident.
This is such an alarming thing because overconfidence, it can bite you in the butt a little bit, but we'll see if that overconfidence can formulate into something good for this LA team. Is, you know, we're heading into round 2, and it's going to be a nice little second floor hold here, and you know, only the best teams bring a cap can here, and that's what Grok is going to bring. He's been actually a pretty decent player for LA. He hasn't been here all season, but when games that he's played, he's been performing quite nicely. Interesting to see how his round goes as Sledge is breaking open that castle. Now has access to the main window, so castle essentially rendered useless on that main window. So unfortunate, chat. So unfortunate.
It's good to see this Sledge being very active early, getting open when he needs to get open, and this Ash as well, already taking control of Mezzanine, really locking off that main area. They're setting up ground flanks. It's really looking like a quick setup here, so they'll have plenty of time to execute.
It's a great execution setup for them, and I will say Williams on the Ash is top 10 most dangerous players to look out for. He is an absolute beast with Ash, and we're seeing it here as they're attempting to blow open the wall, but the Bandit doing his best Gallium impression and gonna get rid of that denial. As I say that, they are eventually gonna get the wall, as they had one person below, one person on the Thatcher trying to get that wall open, and eventually Bandit can't really do that much there. Unfortunate loss here, Stamps.
Unfortunate loss indeed. You really thought D. Wilson might be reviving that D. Wilson-D. Watson rivalry there, but unfortunately, he really just couldn't get the second thermite charge. But kudos to him. They did waste out the first one, so now that'll be the only wall that these attackers are able to hard breach.
Oh, is Phil. He's going to get a kill onto D. Wilson. Going to die pretty early on in this round, and it is now a 5v4. The attackers have the health advantage by far, as they have one extra person, so that equals more health. Do the math, people. It's not that. Oh my goodness!
It gets fragged out.
Toe Sharp, what an excellent kill from Toe Sharp. I mean, he's really stepping up here. He's actually in the front running for MVP. Oh my goodness, 3v3. It's now a 2v3. Is Toe Sharp again gonna get a kill? He's on a double kill as right now stands.
Well, you got to keep in mind that Grok is down, but teammate gets the revive off. Oh, and he barely gets away with his life. Calgary's really going to be kicking themselves. If they wanted to pull off this underdog win, they can't let LA get away with aggressive plays like that one.
Too aggressive for their own good. It's now 2v2. They're going to get the plant down. It's Jimmer and K-Man. He's just going to huck a Nitro Cell. Beautiful plant denial. I mean, just an excellent play from Grok, who's been excellent all season long. He has not died this entire season. This round, or sorry, last round was the only time he's ever died in a siege match. And oh, it's now a 1v1. Jimmer, he can't get the round. He unfortunately couldn't get the kill onto the last person. And this series is all tied up here, Stans.
Well, you know, Gallium, I always admit when I'm wrong, and I was wrong that round. I thought with Sledge's quick early actions and their quick control of Mezzanine that they'd have plenty of time to execute, and yet we see at the end of the round, Calgary's losing at the time, and that's really a sign of an inexperienced team because you at least got to try and take the gunfight, try and get something going. Because if you just let the time run out, then your loss is guaranteed.
So true, Stamps. Great analysis as always, Stamps. And something that needs to be
Attackers need
pointed
to
out
locate and
from
defuse
last
bombs.
round is just how good that plant denial was from Grok. I mean, excellent stuff. He timed the nitro cell almost perfectly. Right before the diffuser could go off, he hucked it over the half wall. And at this point, you wonder, is Grok Tom Brady? If you think about it, this might be Tom Brady, Stamps.
Well, I mean, I want to add to that, Gallium. Notice what he brought as his secondary gadget this time. He brought the C4 again. So
Oh,
let's
boy.
watch very carefully this round. Make sure we see eyes on that and
10
how far he
seconds
throws
left
that
before
thing. And if he really can give the GOAT a run for his money. And if the NFL did that all over this man.
I think the only thing he wishes is the nitro cell was in the shape of a football. And I don't really blame him, as that would be the best buff Siege has added in, well, their entire history, I guess, because Ubisoft is a horrible company. I apologize. As we see the attackers approaching the building quite rapidly here. I don't know who Calgary is fooling by being this strategic and this well coordinated. I mean, obviously, they are the inferior team. We'll see if they can't get a couple early picks early on.
Well, something I'm noticing here this time, Gallium, is there's 4 of them all neck or well. Maybe interesting to see if they're going for a rush plant or what the strategy is. But it's Kel's kill with the grenade from Jimmer. Very uncharacteristic. He's been in the right spot for most of the Dark Cowboys most of the season. And another C4 kill.
What?
E. Wilson.
This is getting out of hand. I mean, at this point, all these throws coming out from Calgary, that Jimmer grenade throw, he's looking like basically any Bears quarterback right now. And this entire LA side, they're just hucking every single gadget that they have at Calgary, and it's working.
I mean, it seems like we got Justin Fields playing for Calgary here, and we got Jared Goff playing for Calgary, or no, LA.
Bold take.
As he used to do.
So true. So true. And, we're seeing the attack just kind of droning out here. They're using their small little cars to get some intel, and Williams just hopped off his small little car, and he's going to use his 1.5 to try to get somebody off of the roam. There's only one roamer to speak of, and Williams hoping to take him out. We'll see if he can, as another grenade has been tossed. Unfortunately, it won't make contact, as still, it's just going to be a stalemate here. Approaching a minute in this round.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Gallium, but I think the time to do more of those dronings was probably before you were 2 men down. Once you've lost that manpower, you really can't drone as many people in anymore.
Oh.
But it's not gonna matter because Ash with a phenomenal angle on the
This is why Zombie's so OP.
One way is really gonna put a dent in that Ash's health, but Ash's gadget is perfect for getting rid of it. So it'll be interesting to see if that's what she decides to do or if they decide to push from another direction.
Ash does have one more breaching charge to her name. We'll see if she can't get a very nice breach onto the upper floor. I mean, it would be incredible if she got the breaching charge down in a good spot, and it looks like it worked for Phil, who didn't even have to put in breaching charge. He used Ashes. It was an incredible play. As the Ashes walked into sight, it's a refrag city for Tosharp. He's been excellent all around at 2v2. 5 seconds left. They're going to get the plan off. Oh, no. Grenades coming out. Is he Tom Brady? Not quite. He's stuck in his own zombie. Can they kill this man? They end up doing so. Tosharp. I mean, this guy. A little backstory on Tosharp. I mean, he was adopted at the age of 6 by his current family, and they brought him up to teach him how to play Siege. He is actually he's from Sweden. They taught him how to play Siege back in the States, and he's been one of the best players of all time here in Hyper Series. Can we just get some GGs in the chat for this excellent player here, Sams?
Well, one thing I want to point out, Gallium, is I don't think that the Siege Scouts are paying enough attention to Sweden as a prospect region. I mean, we've seen what Tosharp has been able to do here with his little amount of time on the scene. What other Swedish gems are just hiding out there, waiting for us to find?
Attackers need to locate
So
and
true.
defuse as many bombs
So
as they can.
very real in base, and it's not really a surprise that LA's leading this one. I mean, they've looked like the better team. They've looked like the better team actually all season. And Calgary's just been struggling, and if they don't get this win, I'm afraid they'll be last in their division and in a little bit of a scary spot if they want to make playoffs.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Gallium. I gotta disagree with you there. I am surprised by the scoreline so far because it's 2-1 and not 3-0. I really did not expect Calgary to be able to take a round off of this very disciplined and strategic LA team so early on.
This is very true. This LA team has looked excellent all series long, and I mean, it's just Toe Sharp who's been putting in the work. He is the only member of his team to have more than 1 kill, as he's really putting the frags in, but his team is just giving so much utility to Toe Sharp, essentially putting him into a kitchen scenario where he is the chef. He might be the top chef, as he is just in his little kitchen. He's doing his thing. All he has to do is click heads, and that's exactly what he's doing. As the defense gonna take a little bit of some action early on here. Stamps. Who do you think is gonna be the big X factor in this round?
I think the big X factor this round is going to be Jimmer's grenades. It'll be very interesting to see if they decide to bounce back at him again, or if they decide to go and attack LA instead.
You know, I think in Jimmer's case, he might have wanted to go Flores because that's an exploding device he can control as sort of a drone. And, you know, they're very good at making contact with the opponents with their drone. So, you know, it might be something he'd want to consider. He's been having kind of just like an off game. You know, 4-1, just kind of not good enough for Jimmer as of right now. I think he's looking to maybe and improve upon that. Usually we see 11-0 games from Jimmer. It's just kind of disappointing what we're seeing so far.
I mean, especially when we look at Toe Sharp on the other side. We know that these are two teams that have very solid star players that they really rely on to get a lot of the hard work done. And Toe Sharp has certainly come to play, but Jimmer, so far, he's having a slow entrance. And it's going to be very interesting when he's able to pick that up before it's too late.
So true, and D. Wilson gonna get his first pick of the game, and it's a 5v3 now. Toe Sharp, unsurprisingly, getting 2 kills. As a Swedish native.
Toe Sharp here, directly taking out the other team's star forward. That's like what Matthew Tkachuk tried to do to Jack Eichel, except Toe Sharp is actually good enough to succeed at it.
You know, I think we need to stop making these sports references because Siege players don't follow sports. They sit in their basements all day, and that's exactly what LA is doing right now. They are sitting in their basements so hard. It's a 5v1. Oh my goodness. Can Williams clutch a 4v1? An excellent player. His sighticles, his reticle is on the opponents. He gets another kill. Can he get one more? There's one prone. Oh my goodness. He gets one more. It's a triple kill for Williams. Can he get one more? Onto either the Vigil or the Malusi. D. Wilson, the greatest player of our generation.
He's an Ash. So it doesn't matter if he has teammates or not, because Ash mains wouldn't use him anyways.
This is so true. Can Williams get the kill? No, he doesn't. Lil Sai putting this one away. And LA has a 3-1 lead against Calgary. I mean, guys, did we really expect anything less from this LA roster? They've been excellent all season. I mean, to the Ottawa Stormwatch, very bad team, by the way. Awful team. Wouldn't even consider them to be even close to the playoffs. They actually 7-0'd them so hard that all of the members of their team quit. All of them. They all retired from Siege completely. So LA is just that kind of team, and they do damage to other teams. They're that good, and Calgary just hasn't been performing. And I just want to give a shout out to just a player who's really been struggling this game on the Calgary side. Again, Jimmer, even though he has a 2.0 KD right now, it's just not something you'd expect from him. You just expect more. Do you really expect him to just have a 2.0? Let's be honest, chat. Let's be honest.
I mean, considering it's Jimmer and he's been the sole killer of Calgary all season, and their only chance, their only light in a sea of darkness, he just needs to produce more. He's out here like he's on a star-studded roster, but the truth is, he's the only star in sight.
Wow, that was very deep and very true. It's like on a cool summer night when you're looking at the stars. That's just what LA is feeling like. I mean, so many stars across the board. And I think, honestly, the person who's having the best game out of all of them is Savvy. I mean, he's just been incredible all game. He might have a negative KD, but he has something that other players don't, and that's heart. Okay? A lot of players don't understand really what it means to be a Siege player. It means to have heart, and he's giving it his very best. So he's doing a good job. Good job, Savvy.
Well, guys, stick with me here. I want to float out a theory to the community here. Have we ever confirmed that Toe Shark is not Jinxie? I know that Jinxie is primarily an Xbox player, but I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility.
This is a possibility, but this could be, this might be Biolo. And I'm not talking about the pro MNK Biolo. I'm talking about Biolo of the Ottawa Stormwatch. You mentioned this is actually a canon event that all the teams, all the members of Ottawa Stormwatch quit after getting 7-0'd. Console Biolo might be on this roster as blue team, aka the attacking side. Jimmer, he finds somebody with this grenade. An absolutely exceptional play from Calgary. Something we did not expect to ever happen. Oh my goodness.
It's amazing to see this here from Jimmer. His grenades finally deciding to attack the other team instead of himself. Real interesting to see him manage to get out of the squad and see if it'll be enough to carry Calgary to at least a second round to prevent the 7-1.
Oh, they are apparently getting the plant down. So proud of Jimmer. He probably imagined Waxipa Jose's head tossing that grenade towards probably what happened there. Jimmer's taking some damage, but Triax gets a nice little claymore going with a little size. Savvy taking some damage, and the attackers finally get a round win. Calgary, they have a little bit of life here, but it's not really that much as LA is really the best team of all time.
Well, you got to keep in mind, Galleon, you can't have David and Goliath stories without there being a Goliath. And LA here is that Goliath. And it's going to be very hard for LA to find a way to throw this.
So true. It's going to be incredibly hard for LA to throw this, first of all. It honestly, I think at this point, they're just kind of trolling. I mean, if you're going against Calgary, nobody takes it seriously because Calgary has just been the laughingstock of the league all season. I mean, they came into this league not being any favorite. The first game of the season, actually, for them, they lost 7-0 to Tampa Bay, and their roster has just been kind of changing back and forth. Jimmer just being the only constant over there. So I just think Calgary just needs to step it up in order for them to maybe sniff playoffs later this season.
You know, you got a point there. Calgary has been hungry for some playoff Rainbow Six for a long time. But it's looking like this might not be the season, and they might be better suited looking towards that draft lottery at the end of the season.
So true, as the draft format was thought up by a great philosopher, D. Watson himself actually thought up the draft, and he actually created the entire draft format. So thank you, D. Watson, for your service.
Seeing Calgary here, they're going for the hard reach on this wall, and they are going to get it. All that utility used up by LA in attempts to hold that wall, and how long did they hold it for, Gallium? About 30 seconds.
You know, I thought I was supposed to answer that question, but apparently I was not, as I would have said 3 seconds, but I'm glad you gave them a little more slack on that one. Very disappointed how little they held the wall. And Jimmer gonna toss a grenade. Can he get a kill? Oh, he does! This is the greatest performance we've ever seen from Jimmer. Now 2 grenade kills. Actually, technically 3 if you count the one that unfortunately started this whole grenade mess for Jimmer. Can we get a moment of silence for Jimmer's grenade throw?
Jimmer here looking like Jimmy Buckets. He's splashing these grenade threes now. Earlier he was struggling so much, but now he can't miss. He's off forward.
So true. Toe Sharp picks up another kill. He's now 9-4. little bit underwhelming for his standards. Lil Sai gonna get a kill. Savvy gonna get a kill as well. It's Cayman Hockey gonna finish off Little Sai, and now they're planting the bomb, planting the diffuser. As Savi does have one impact in his little pocket. He's gonna get one kill. Savi, the most clutch player you've ever seen, he's not gonna get another, as D. Wilson is just gonna do his dirty work for him, and with that extended barrel slapped on that MP7, he's gonna do that dirty work.
Defender mission successful.
LA here taking the 4-2 lead at the half, a little bit below what we expected for them, but you got to keep in mind, as a playoff bound team, LA might be saving their strats for real games that'll actually matter to them.
So true. This game means absolutely nothing to them. I mean, Calgary is just kind of struggled this entire game. These 2-round wins, let's be honest, incredibly lucky to even sniff LA at this point. I just think it's LA or no LA. And by the way, guys, I'm so disappointed in every single one of you who is in the Twitch chat right now and did not put all of your channel points on LA. What are you doing, you absolute buffoons?
Defenders, protect your
Well, I'm gonna be honest, that was one of the easiest investments they could have made, Galleon.
So true. And I feel like they would not do well in Wall Street. I feel like they wouldn't.
They would be the sheep of Wall Street, not the wolf.
So true. As he's referencing the hit movie The Wolf on Wall Street, in that clever little insight there, is it is still a 5v5 with 15 seconds left. 14 seconds left now on the prep clock. Will it hit 10? It hits 10 on the prep clock. It is now red. The prep clock is now red. The round is about to start, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1. Round number 7 is underway, and friendly fire is now active. Dangerous if you're Jimmer. Friendly fire is his forte here in this one. Will LA troll here, or will they take this seriously? It looks like they're doing some trolling, maybe some disco parties going on in chat as Jimmer accidentally fires his weapon and somehow collects a head.
Well, I was curious how they were going to use those incandelas, especially whether or not they were going to rush, because then they also have those extra drones to work with from the Brava. But with that Ying being taken out early, I think it's safe to say this round's going to be a bit slower than the past ones.
As Williams is going to take a little peek into the library from mezzanine. Can he find a head, or will his head be blown off by the person who is proned in the library right now? They have a ping on him, and interesting play from LA. I think Savi's strategy right there was with the plank strategy. It's really popular in Pro League. It's where you lay down and you don't fire your weapon at the opponent, and they miss all their shots and they blow themselves up.
Yeah, Gallium, I gotta agree. LA is clearly choosing to give this round to Calgary, perhaps as some false hope, or perhaps out of charity and kindness, because we saw there a Brava by herself in library with no one watching her, prone on a drone, completely unaware of her surroundings, and then we have these drones that explode, but guess what, Gallium?
What?
They don't float. And LA here is trying to use these drones that don't float to float in the air and destroy those Kaid claws, but they stick to walls, just not electricity, and that makes them get destroyed.
Incredible analysis on the operators. I mean, just truly great work. As there's 55 seconds on the clock. Not an exciting clock at all, this one. Kind of disappointed in Rainbow's font choice for the clock. I thought it was thinking a little bit more of an Arial font for the clock. I think Lil Sai, he's just, I think he hip fired and killed him. And with Lil Sai's hip fire, he's actually the best hip fire in NA right now, fun fact. So we'll see kill go out from Phil. He's going to collect Lil Sai because he's currently turned off his monitor to try to play blindly, because that's how easy this round is. And come on, LA. I mean, you're really making Stamps and I work for this cast, aren't you? I mean, we could have had a 7-0 by now. Stamps and I could have been taking Epsom salt baths. You're really just kind of ruining it for us.
You know, Galen, I gotta be honest, I'm very upset with LA right now. I
Mm.
just got home from work. I'm trying to hop in the shower, and they're dragging this out and pretending that this should be a competitive game when we all clearly know that LA could win this easily if they just gave it 5% effort.
So true, Stamps. So true. And I've come home from work as well, and I would really, really like to just sit in a nice bath and soak. But I guess LA is
Attackers
just
need to
gonna
locate and defuse
deny
the
that
bomb.
for me, denying me basic human rights, as I agreed to do a cast that was non-mandatory, and it's their fault, honestly, that I can't take a nice bath right now. It's honestly just incredible, the font. I mean, look at the font on this timer. Look at it. It just looks weird.
Attackers
Like,
located a bomb.
am I hallucinating? I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never been much of a man for numbers. I myself prefer letters. I think maybe they should put the words up there instead to help our less numbered friends be able to tell how much time is left in the round.
Especially our illiterate
Attackers
friends.
are heading out to defuse the
I'm
bomb.
talking to you, the entire Rainbow Six Siege community, as most of them do not know how to read. Most of them from third world countries, and and not included to Chicago. So we'll see if this round is any different, as Calgary is looking to take this one and deny me my bath. So thanks, LA. Real nice.
You know, gotta give credit to Calgary for, if nothing else, they've shown heart all season. You know, they come out to every game. Everyone knows it's going to be an absolute bloodbath, and they still play it out. I've never actually seen them rage quit, which is perhaps the most impressive part of their season so far.
So true, is Savi is going for the reverse repel here. An ingenious strat to watch over mezzanine. And, he's just like a bat in a cave. He's just going to sit upside down and wait for somebody to get into his sights.
Dave Wilson here saw the shoulder of the Echo and is on the drone, knows exactly where he is, has a free kill, but he is just playing with it.
He got it.
He's finally going to take him out. Really,
So, wow.
But LA just hates us, Gallium. They don't want us to be good, to go to other things. They demand the attention.
We're going to completely ignore that I cast right after this, and I just think LA is just that team to really troll on us like this. In a 5v4, I'm so sorry. I might be one of the illiterate viewers right now, as Williams is going to be on the library stairs, going to try to wait for one of his opponents to walk graciously in front of his reticle and miss all of his shots. He is still just hanging out on the stairs like the little rat he is. Jimmer is trying to pinch people in lower fireplace. He gets one. That's diffuser. Williams going to get Glock taken care of. It's now a 4v3. D. Wilson. He actually changed sensitivities right before this game, and he cranked it all the way up as a means to troll. So we'll see if he can't hop in here and get a kill. He yinged himself. It's the I can't see, you can't see strategy in full effect. 3v2 now. D. Wilson gonna get Cayman Hockey. And another I can't see, you can't see strategy coming out, as I believe Savi just flashed himself. And, they're really just working well together right now. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it is down to a 2v2 here, Gallium. Oh, but Jimmer finally deciding that he will give the Calgary fans some hope. It might be fake hope, but for now, it's all they can cling to.
Jimmer gonna use the ping button to ping the diffuser. It's actually a feature in Rainbow Six Siege. The ability to ping the diffuser is one of the greatest technological advancements of all time. If we're being honest, greater than the Industrial Revolution here, Stamps.
I gotta be honest with you here. The Industrial Revolution didn't impact the pro scene very much for Rainbow Six Siege, but being able to yellow ping and ping the diffuser, massive changes to the meta of this game.
Meta shmeta is all I have to say. In response to that very high level of response from me, my name's Gallium. I am your caster this evening, as it is a 4-4 tie here, round number 9. I just dislike the way LA's teasing us. I feel as like I'm a joke. I don't feel loved. Please, somebody hold me tight and love me. Thank you. As You know, that timer, it's at 33 seconds right now. Will it hit 28 seconds? It just did. Stamps, an incredible moment in this match.
I want to get back to some of the players' storylines here. I mean, we
God.
talked about Grok and his amazing story and Toe Sharp's amazing story. How about the story of some of the
Attackers have discovered the
Calgary players
location
and
of a
what it's
bomb.
taken them to get to
10
this
seconds
point in
left
their
before
careers?
insertion.
Well, actually, I do have somebody's
5 seconds
story,
to
somebody
insertion.
who's actually been quite a good person to me in my
Attacker's
own life.
objective is to
Williams,
defuse the bomb.
22. He is actually, fun fact for all of you who didn't know at home, Williams, 22 is actually my disabled uncle. He is in a wheelchair, and he is playing with his feet at this moment, Sam.
Well, you know what the advantage of the wheelchair is, right, Gilliam? He can just strap his PS5 or Xbox right into that chair, attach a TV to the front, and you can never force him to leave his game. And unlike this LA side, he's able to literally play the game 24/7.
Just really great stories here. I mean, all these players imported actually via cargo shipments. They had no food, no water. They came off as malnourished. And, you know, you have Williams taking some damage early on. I think his wheelchair is actually locked in place, so he cannot move. Unfortunate timing.
Well, you know, Williams here, hopefully he's got some extra snacks or a chug jug in that wheelchair too to help him out with a little more health to finish this round.
So very true is Cayman Hockey is going to watch that hole. And I'm not really interested in this game anymore. I'm just really interested in what is happening, I guess, around the Hyper Series space. I think, honestly, Hyper Series has moved in a really great direction. And a new announcement actually just surfaced from Vac himself. He said that we will be starting a mandatory Zim inspection where everybody's Zims will be inspected to see if they are top quality, and everybody will be replacing their controller with a keyboard and mouse in the upcoming season here, Stamps.
Well, I don't really know what to make of that one, though. But we know previously that Back had said that he only likes low quality sounds because of the added challenge. But now that Mousetrap has come out, he's probably a little bit upset with the quality of the production he's seeing, and he wants to make it look more like real Pro League.
So very true. Is some kills happening right now. It's just kind of, it's really boring Rainbow right now because I think Calgary is just doing their best Miami impression right now. It's just an act, let's be honest. As a 4v1 going out now, blah, blah, blah. D. Wilson, he's in a 1v4. Can he clutch it up? We'll find out. He's on Fuse. 3v1 now. Fuse cluster charge.
Cluster charge. That could help him turn this one around. And if he manages to close out this round, I think it's official that D. Wilson is better than D. Watson.
This is official. This actually has come from the creator of Rainbow Six Siege himself. And if you would give me 30 seconds of your time, I can actually look up who that is.
Well, you know, Tom Clancy was the original author that all of the Rainbow Six games were based around. So I'm going to give credit to Tom Clancy for this one.
Well, actually, the CEO of Rainbow Six Siege is Michael Dogger. Not sure how viable that information is or whether it's true or not, but I don't know who Tom Clancy is. I actually, this match is kind of getting boring and a little out of hand here. I do want to give a shout out. It is Pride Month this June, but it's also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month this June, and somebody who has been struggling with mental health has been my disabled uncle, Williams.
Some prayers that here given out to Williams 22. We really want to make sure he feels welcome and knows that this community is here for him no matter what. When he's having those bad days, when he's struggling to keep going, this community will always be here to give him the rage to live on another day.
It's such a loving story. I mean, we all love Williams around here, especially me. He took me on a special camping trip, and I've been close with him ever since. As this round is beginning to start, the prep timer has reached 0, run
Attackers
around
must
10.
locate and
Jimmer
defuse a bomb.
just gonna try his best to get a kill here. He might accidentally send a bullet into the opponent's heads, but you know, LA is just being incredibly intelligent here, and they're just their whole team is just being absolutely excellent and spawning on the other side, so Jimmer can't reach them with his bullets. I mean, sometimes Jimmer he really just likes to impersonate his favorite pro league players, but let's be honest here, guys. Jimmer is top 5 worst people in the league. I mean, his aim isn't great, and honestly, he's kind of underperforming here. 13-4 is not something you want to see from Jimmer.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. I think LA is getting a little carried away with their casualness on this round. I know it's a meaningless match for them against the Calgary side who's struggling so desperately to avoid relegation, but they're not even bringing the frag grenades on Sledge. They're bringing the flashes instead, and I really just got a question: does LA just not want the President's Trophy this year? Like, what's going on?
What is going on indeed? His bullets are flying right past Brock Snow, but he's going to make the great move and not pull out his weapon. Instead, he's going to stare at the opponent with an ace charge. The best move he's ever made, as Williams gets a lucky double kill here. He might get a triple. I think he ends up with one just based off of spray. I mean, it's really just unskillful how he just sprayed and prayed there. D. Wilson is looking clueless on the rappel, like, where did all my friends go? And if you're like me, you have no friends. I'm sorry, D. Wilson, as he is still on rappel, just very, very lonely right now.
D. Wilson here, abandoned by his team, but not by his superior skill. Able to get the first kill there on the Cayman Hockey. Will he be able to get these other 4 and finally cement his legacy as one of the greatest to ever do it?
So true, as he gets another kill on Williams, who thinks he's the better player, but unfortunately he is not, as we'll have some discussions at the family function about that comment I just made. 3v1 now. D. Wilson gonna attempt to breach the building with 50 seconds left. I mean, really, in all realisticness, I think this is the point where you plug in your Zim. I think this is the moment where you kind of take the next step in this journey. I don't see why he's not doing it at this moment.
Well, you know, definitely a very interesting move, but you gotta think that maybe instead he's activated some type of wall shoot or other related device in order to allow him to really kick it into high gear here and put Calgary back in that place.
So true, as Jimmer gets a lucky kill onto D. Wilson, and Calgary is 1 win away from shocking the world here. LA is just kind of, I mean, they're just, I think essentially what they're trying to do is their best Dallas Cowboys impression, where they have such a great run at the beginning, but then just collapse in the playoffs. And I think in their case, they just need to be more like the Seattle Seahawks, the greatest team of this generation. And something I want to point out just for a moment here, you asked for more of the players' stories, and I just want to touch base on, you asked for more of the Calgary players, and I gave you Williams' story. Incredible player, the best of all time, and we've had some stories from these other players, but how about the man who has been really good for this Calgary team? And that would be Cayman Hockey _31. And as his name implies, he actually does play hockey, and he's a professional hockey player in the country, Switzerland. And him and his team made it all the way to the championship before he suffered a career-ending injury, rendering him unable to speak. So his team is without comms right now. It's very unfortunate, and his hockey career is pretty much over with. But he might just get drafted by the Vegas Golden Knights, who seek players of incredible nature.
Well, I do want to point out here, though, that you say all that, but you neglected to mention his massive contract he's still signed to in that hockey league, and you gotta wonder if his team will try and find some way to skate him out on that ice still, even if it seems impossible.
I'm really rooting for you, Cayman Hockey. His hockey skills aren't there, but his rainbow skills sure are being displayed for us right now. His last round, I think his camera work last round on the default cam and the bulletproof cam, while Jimmer got that lucky kill at the end, it was incredible. I mean, you see at the end with Jimmer as he gets another lucky kill right now. You can see him switch cameras, and he's trying his best to give the call outs, but all that's coming out of his mouth are little muffles. So his team has actually gotten very good at deciphering them, and that's just that's just what makes this league the best.
Well, do want to point out, as we mentioned earlier, those yellow pings really pivotal in giving Calgary a chance to actually get some kills here, since he can't really communicate that otherwise.
So true. So I really like how R6 is really taking a turn for the better as a 5v3 going uphill. Again, with these lucky kills, I mean, it's kind of getting out of hand. I think LA just... I feel like the monitor turning off strat is just kind of getting out of hand. I think they just need to really turn those back on and get active. As D. Wilson, again, left alone outside of the building. You have to wonder whether or not he's struggling at this current moment. I mean, he's really just been alone 2 rounds in a row. Can he essentially 1v5 here? As his one and only friend, Little Sai, is about to die right in front of him. This is so sad, and I'm on the verge of tears. Take it away, Stamps.
Well, going to be really interesting here to see if he can successfully perform the surgery, and he does, pulling out that tumor at the last possible moment and saving Lil Sai's life.
Wow. Incredible. And another feature in this game is the compass at near the bottom right of your screen, and you have to wonder how Rainbow got an actual compass into their game.
Very interesting, especially since most standard TVs and monitors don't come with a compass inside, so very interesting to see how Ubisoft managed to incorporate that.
You know, I think it's just another great thing about the Hyper Series Gaming League. I mean, you see that they implemented the compass actually in their broadcast. It actually, fun fact, took Vac multiple months to create the compass, and it's one of his finest works, I have to say.
And ending on a flawless round, LA, really just a story of too much strat saving here. I don't know if they think they're G2 level, which they're quite close to, by the way. They are reigning champs. But really, at the end of the day, I guess they save their strats, and the Calgary team of bums manages to scrape away a couple points to help